District Dialogue. I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III and of District 1. And this District Dialogue moment is going to be about fair housing, real estate, what the do's and don'ts about real estate. What's good about that you should know about real estate, and what you need to know to kind of make make sure you understand the laws of fair housing. Redlining. There's a whole lot of stuff, and I brought along some experts that's going to talk to you and talk to us, the District Dialogue family, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And these are the experts. I'm just here hosting and having some fun here. So introducing yourself, starting with Amy. If you'll introduce yourself to the District Dialogue family, all about what we're getting ready to do. But first of all, let's talk about who you are and why you're here.
Well, I appreciate that, Commissioner Mitchell. Thank you very much for having us here. I'm Amy McCoy. I am the Government Affairs Chair for the West Georgia Board of Realtors, former president in 2019, and real estate broker. So thank you for having me.
Oh, wow. And you've been doing real estate now. You've been modest for a very long time.
21 years.
Yes.
Started here in Douglas County.
Yes.
Absolutely enjoy it. I specifically chose Douglas County because I saw of everything it could be,
right.
and I wanted to help guide it to be.
And
the
you've
best.
been a very advocate person when it comes to real estate and making sure that we as a people understand the laws that governs real estate.
Absolutely. My parents were military, and so I've been an avid world traveler, even in my later years. But I also understood living in other countries, what it is like to actually have community. And when you have lived in war-torn countries and things like that, you see what not having looks like. And then when you have it, how to best take care of it and fund it.
I get it. Okay. So much for Amy. Now we want to let the District Dialogue family know who you are.
Okay. Thank you for having me here as well. My name is Valerie Rivera. I am licensed realtor for 21 years, and I'm currently the West Georgia Board of Realtors president, and working here side by side with Amy. We are community driven and passionate about making sure that everyone is entitled to and know about fair housing. So the project that we're going to be talking about momentarily is going to begin and end leading us towards Fair Housing Month.
Right, it's going to center all around fair housing.
Yes.
You know, the laws that govern us realtors, and by the way, I'm a realtor as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Part of the West Georgia Board of Realtors. So, so let's dive in. So why are we here?
Yes.
To talk about fair housing? Because why is that important?
Well, fair housing is important. It's essential for every community to thrive. And what fair housing impacts it was a law that was incepted in 1968. Unfortunately, several days after the assassination of Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was a way to advocate for there to be inclusive housing, not just in ownership, but also in rental accommodations and public accommodations. Real estate runs in the way America works in every vertical. For how things are funded, where our education comes from, how that's financed, how traditional financial institutions come into your communities. People used to see check cashing places in predominantly ethnic communities, and there needed to be more traditional banking services there. It's how we determine where food deserts are and making sure that we're bringing adequate food into those communities. It touches on healthcare and how environmental impacts happen. And so it is something that should always be at the forefront when you're talking about economic development in a community. And with this spur of growth, we need to make sure that housing is priority number one in that conversation. But like I just said, even though it's titled fair housing, it's not just about housing because, again, it impacts so many other things.
So how do we ensure, and I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Valerie,
she touched on most of everything that we did to discuss, but also with familiar status and disabilities.
Right, and that's why I was going to actually go, though, but go ahead, go right ahead.
Yeah, so familiar status, disability, some cases gender, there's a lot of protective classes that are discriminated against, and a lot of people don't realize that it does affect you as well.
Well, let's talk about those protected classes. Let's kind of start there, because what I don't want to do is talk to our District Dialogue family.
Yeah.
Talk over their head. We talking real estate jargon, and they're like, okay, well, what is that? So let's talk, to a first grader.
Absolutely. I believe in you got to talk to people in
Yes.
crayon sometimes. It's
Go
about to
where
the
they
basic
are.
level.
Yes. So let's talk about the protected classes.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
All right, so you have race,
Okay.
color, national origin, sex, disability, right?
Okay,
That's a
okay.
big one.
Right.
Familial status, and national origin.
Got it. And when it comes to one of the largest purchases in your lifetime,
Right.
that you want to make sure that no one is trying to scam you, I guess, for a better choice of words.
Well, not even just scam, but steer you.
Yes.
That steering is one, block busting is another, redlining.
Lining, yes,
There's
yes.
it's such a complex law,
Yeah.
but that's why we have to start focusing on the root of the law
Mm-hmm.
and in order to make sure that it's accessible for everyone. That was the whole point of fair housing.
Absolutely. And in doing that, that's why it's key. And I think what you guys are trying to do at this moment is try to educate.
Yes.
Educate those who don't really understand the laws that governs real estate purchases, where they're trying to steer you into from a redlining perspective and all that other good stuff. So this is kind of a good moment for you and I to explain to those
Yeah.
that may not quite get it and don't understand that there are laws that really tries to make sure that you're being treated fairly.
Yeah, and even at the moment, if you feel like you're not being treated fairly, it's knowing who to contact to making sure that you're reporting it and making sure that you are getting your story out so it can be
Well, let's talk
taken
about,
care
okay, so what is that process like? So if me buying a house, somebody steered me in a direction because of my race or because of my religion, who do I contact? Who do I contact? What that looks like?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, the HUD.gov website is one way, and it will lead you to that if you feel you've been discriminated against.
So you go there, and then you fill out the form of
Yes.
what that looks like and all that good stuff, and tell them what you think the situation might have been, or where you might have been, you think that you might have been affected by one of the boxes not being checked, or whatever the case may be. I'm hoping I'm kind of...
You're hitting it right on the
Okay.
head. One of the biggest things is even if you're not sure if you've been discriminated against, make the phone call. There are several fair housing agencies in the Metro Atlanta area. Even if you don't go directly to HUD.gov, you have Metro Fair Housing, and there's a couple of sourced around the state. But it is also depending on if they're being funded. And unfortunately, some of these agencies have been shut down because of no funding, right? Again, it's not a sexy topic, but it's
political. Yeah.
but it is one of those that you, if you don't know where to go to HUD.gov. They'll let you know if there's an agency close by, but if you don't have internet access, there's a telephone number that you can display on the screen, and we can make sure that they can make that call there.
So let's do this. Let's take we're going to take a quick stop for just a moment and come back and talk more about, you know, the not only the laws, but kind of how we get through the process.
Yeah.
So we can be better educated as to what that process looked like. And then we'll talk further about some big event that you guys got coming up.
Awesome.
That's good
Thank
enough?
you.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll be back with more of District Dialogue, my special guest, talking fair housing right here on District Dialogue. I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. Welcome back to District Dialogue. Again, I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III, and man, we're talking real estate. So for those of you who are watching, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, and join in on this conversation. So, okay, now we talked about the protected classes. Job well done. We talked about where you can go to make sure that if you feel that someone kind of misled you in checking off the boxes, you have a place to go. And is there a cost to all of this? Is there a cost to trying to find out if they checking all the boxes or not, or did somebody discriminate against me in some form or fashion? Is there a cost to go in?
No, there's not a cost at all. You just go to the website, and there's also a toll-free number there. So you can, either one, you can go directly to the website, fill out the information there, or give a phone call. And also for the realtors, you can also go to the Georgia Real Estate Commission's website as well, because that not only protects the general public, it also, controls us as well. The
Yes, as realtors, absolutely.
Well, and that's a good point, and I appreciate you bringing that up because, we're realtors. We're also, well, I know I'm a realtist, but there are a lot of people out here that sell real estate that are not licensed.
That's correct.
And so, yes, if you are a owner and you want to sell your house yourself, that's fine.
Correct.
You are not subject to a lot of the same fair housing laws that we as practitioners
If I
are
heard you say
responsible.
you are not,
Yeah, you're not.
wow.
Because you own one and it's your property. But the minute you own more than one, there are certain obligations that you have to
abide
abide
by.
by.
Yes.
Yes. Even if you are being hired by a company who manages one asset, or even as an HOA, there's a lot of people that have found certain loopholes that we ask the general public, if you see this, contact the real estate commission so that they can properly investigate. So making sure we have good actors out here, not bad actors.
Wow. And you know, I never thought about it that way though, even though I'm a realtor. But as just a for sale by owner, if you're only doing it for your property alone, you can kind of negate some of the boxes.
And it's unfortunate.
But right, but shouldn't there be? I mean, well, there should be some legislation to me that's in play to kind of stop that.
Right.
Yeah, but it's all going to be beholden on the person that feels they've been discriminated against
Yes.
to file a complaint, and then that way that complaint is then acknowledged and then investigated.
Got it. And if you file a complaint, if I file a complaint, it's automatically investigated, or I mean,
It's in
especially
line
writing.
with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
unfortunate that until we get proper adequate funding, and every municipality, every county has their duty to making sure that they have good actors in those communities. The state level also has mechanisms in place, like we just mentioned, the Georgia Real Estate Commission. And there's other agencies that are supposed to be there to help mitigate situations. But again, it all goes to making sure there's someone to answer that phone.
But I think the most important part, not most important, but at least one of the important parts of all of this, is to be educated
Absolutely.
Correct.
and understanding. And that's what we're here trying to make sure that our community understands the law.
Right.
Right.
That's the mission of the West Georgia Board of Realtors. Especially this year, we are set up right now, and we're on a mission to make sure we do educate the general public here in West Georgia and the vicinity, you know, the other areas around us. We want to be that loud voice and let you know that we are not just here to make money, to try to sell you real estate. We want to walk along with you. We want to make sure you do feel safe out here and well protected. And part of that is educating, you know, the general public.
So that's a good segue. So I like that. So educating them, so you guys are preparing for this huge event.
Yes.
What's the month, the date, the time, and kind of how it's going to kind of lay out? And we'll get in some deeper details, but talk to me about that so the general public can understand that side of it.
Yeah. So we're actually planning an immersive learning experience, not just for the students in Douglas County, but also adults alike. Our hope is that we can get other counties to want to also bring their students to explore this temporary fair housing exhibit, which will be located on Gurley Road where the former Boys and Girls Club was. And we did a partnership there to allow this exhibit to run from, our grand opening is going to be on March 10th.
Yes.
Very excited. And then it'll run through April 25th. So as much as we love everyone to be there on Grand Day, ribbon cutting, it's going to be there till April 25th. So you will have time. It's going to run from 10 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. But from 10 to 2, we're leaving that time specifically for the school field trips. So that way from 2 to 6 will be open to the general public, so that they can come in and explore the exhibit.
And how engaged are you with the Board of Education with trying to make sure that the kids come and understand this? Yet along, I think people like myself need to be there, and like my executive assistant needs to kind of come down here and understand a little bit more about fair housing. But go ahead.
We're gonna have them partake in building out the artifacts and building that out, you know, to their understanding and presenting it. But Amy can tell you more.
We have, we've actually kind of put some curriculum packets together, so that way the teachers during this time, as it leads up, they can kind of have a an experience about what they will see at the exhibit. And then while they're at the exhibit, they're able to learn the information there, and then they have a post-curriculum packet that will also be provided to the teachers in advance. When this made the decision that this would go forth, I made a contact to the Douglas County School Board and had a conversation about what was needed to making sure that we met the Georgia standards of excellence. And we did, and sent everyone, even all the other school boards, that a pre-packet of this is what the expectations are and how it aligns. We want to make sure that this is not focused on any division. This is about history, acknowledging history, and how we're able to move policy forward by having an informed, level set.
Yes, yeah. And I think it's important that from a young generational, at least the school board and the kids understand the importance of what fair housing laws are.
Yes.
And what boxes they need to understand, what needs to be checked, and what needs to be understood.
Well, and even to that point, this isn't just talking about, for a 12th grade level, we have added components to this that it's going to speak to even the 2nd grade level.
Yes.
Understood.
It's about understanding and recognizing who community leaders are, how pivotal they were for history, to understanding what's fair and what's not fair, how housing policies came to be. So yes, this is a real deep dive into a civil rights era, but what came out of that is this law, and it's this law that dictates how funding is allocated within the community, and as your duty as a constituent on how you contribute to that. So whether it's rental or buying, but how that equates into owning small businesses.
And what's good about this is that I hear her passion.
Yes.
And I happened to, what was it, last year, year before last, I was one of the guest speakers at the Fair Housing.
In 2018,
Yeah, okay, right.
I know, look, how time be flying by, right?
Okay.
But 2018, yes.
And it's so enriching to understand it, because it forced me now to start digging deeper to understand what I thought I knew and didn't. And the changes that have came about since then,
It's a beautiful thing when you learn how to collaborate, right? We did a partner with leadership in the municipalities and county. We did a partnership with the school board then, which had an amazing showcase. And then we also partnered even with the chamber. We wanted the business community to understand the importance so that they know how to properly, when they're bringing businesses to the community, or even how they can better take care of their employees.
Listen, Amy, you're getting good. So we're gonna do a deeper dive into the event.
Yes.
The time frame, we've already announced the event and the whole process, and kind of wrap it all up and put a big bow on it, on letting you guys kind of really dig deeper into kind of what we can expect March 10th, I think it is.
Yes, that's the grand opening.
Okay, so we'll come back with more of District Dialogue with Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. And again, we're talking real estate. And for those of us who are looking at trying to start a business, and that deals in real estate, who wants to buy their own home, that deals in real estate. But there's fair housing laws that you need to understand. Stick around, more to come right here on District Dialogue. I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. Welcome back to District Dialogue. I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III, District 1 Commissioner. And wow, my special guest, we're talking fair housing laws. And back to, there's so many sidebar conversations that goes on, especially off camera. You guys should probably be a part of that stuff. But however, but let's dig deeper into, as I stated earlier, let's talk more about the event coming up in March 10th. So we can kind of do a deep dive. I mean, how can those that want to help be a part of it? How the school and the educational guide side of this going to be down on these dates? And me, as just a citizen, just want to come by and just be a part of this. I just want to come down and learn and understand. Like I said, I'm going to send my executive assistant, Daryl, out there because he needs some classes. But just let's talk about kind of what that looks like. What can we expect starting March 10th?
Okay, so starting March 10th, that's going to be our grand opening day.
Okay.
But prior to that, if you go to our website at westgeorgiaboard.org, and you can sign up to be a volunteer, and most importantly, a donor. So right now we are accepting donations. we need your funds
Okay.
to
Okay.
help this go out because it is educational and it's beneficial to the general public. It's not just for one person or one set of people. It's fair housing. It's going to lead to fair housing. And right now we do need more funding because we do have some, but we want more so that we can make it a little bit more open to interactive. And because Amy did a great job at putting together that vision and then placing it, you know, in writing so we could see it out, and that's how we got a lot of buy-ins for it. So we do get calls and we do get a lot of people that's willing to help. And once you know a lot more about it, it's something that you'll be wanting to join.
So how can those potential sponsors, what they reach you just via the website? Or can they call you guys, or can they just drop off a check? You prefer to just drop off a check?
They can do it all.
Yeah, they can do
We'll
it
take
all.
it all.
Okay. Okay.
There's so if you go to westgeorgiaboard.org/fair housing, or just on the westgeorgiaboard.org website, you'll see a tab for it, and it'll take you through that. If you say, hey, I want to volunteer,
Okay.
I'm willing to be a docent during the tours, to making sure that there's someone to walk you through the exhibit so that you get the most out of it, even as just a person in the general public. We want you to come and go beyond just the visual. We want to make sure that you're properly educated, understanding where it started, understanding when it passed, but understanding how you can shape what it looks like for the future.
Yes.
And so, and again, as we talked on, it goes from 2nd grade to 12th grade. We did reach out to the school board, but we understand there's a lot of students out here that are homeschooled and may not have that day-to-day interaction, you know, with a proctor there in the schools. And so we don't want them to feel left out. Or even if you have an after-school program, what on the website, you'll also find a tab on there so that you can register your classroom, no matter how many students, also as a part for that field trip. We want everyone to feel like they have an opportunity with this experience. And so even, and like I said, between 10 and 2 will be those school trip tours.
Got it.
But after that, from 2 to 6, we want to open to the general public for them to be able and come in. And if you're a company that says, hey, we also want to sponsor, or hey, we're a company and we want to have our own tour, because it would be great for our employees to understand what their rights are, we welcome that as well. We want everyone to feel like they're informed, not just for when they buy a home, but just how it is, period. Everyone can learn from this experience.
I mean, great job. You guys have done an excellent job at pulling off all of this with the enthusiasm and your willingness to educate those that may not understand that there are laws that governs what you do and don't do when it comes to buying and selling and renting property.
Right.
So thank you guys for just the West Georgia Board of Realtors for just really joining in that board and really want to take charge and educate our community. So in that vein, I want you guys to do me one last favor. To my District Dialogue family, can you look into that camera and talk to them about your event that's coming up March 10th and closing out fair housing laws? I mean, and your true essence and your feeling on that whole prospect of that. So could you do me a favor and do that for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Again, my name is Valerie Rivera, the president of West Georgia Board of Realtors for 2026. And I am passionate and looking forward to the fair housing exhibit that we have coming up, which is going to run from March 10th to April 25th. We're looking for everyone to take a part in this. Even if you feel like it doesn't apply to you, it really does. Everything about the fair housing aspect, it does apply to you. And we're here to help educate you and walk you through the process and just be that voice for you, even if you do not feel you have a voice.
I appreciate this opportunity and time that we were able to spend together, and especially talk about such a sacred law, the Fair Housing Act. Even though it was passed in 1968, we still have so much more to do to not only challenge certain events that have happened since this act passed, but it's incumbent on every citizen to making sure that they learn this law, get educated truly about, so you know how to properly advocate for yourself. The resources that come from buying, selling, or even real estate, renting properties, it impacts how we fund our fire departments. It impacts how we fund our police departments, how we fund our schools. So it's important that you learn so that you can properly advocate for yourself. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you coming on March 10th. March 10th, people, March 10th. Come, enjoy, learn, and feel empowered to ask questions, because that's what we're here for. So thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And this will be the last thing I'll ask, and then I'm gonna leave you guys alone. There are sponsorships that's needed to make sure that you guys get through this.
Yes.
Yes.
Ask, make that ask.
You know, I'm bad about the ask all the time.
Okay,
go
but
ahead.
a closed mouth don't get fed. So
Absolutely.
we're hungry, and we need you. We need as much funding together. We do have a goal of $40,000. We would like to exceed that. So please get involved. We do have some branding for sponsorship as well, based on how much you donate to us, so that we can make sure that you're part of that exhibit as well that's displayed. And we also want you to feel like you're a part of this community and you want to make a difference, because like Amy just said, 1968, it almost feels as if we're just the beginning of 1968. So we need you to understand how serious this is, and please volunteer and donate. Thank you.
Call, is there a number to call? Is there a website?
Reach out to westgeorgiaboard.org and you'll find the Fair Housing tab. I mean, if you want to call me, you can call me. My number is 404-933-8842. I am happy to take your calls. I'm happy as a fair housing advocate if you are seeing issues in your community, whether it's HOA, whether it's just, hey, I'm feeling discriminated and I don't know who else to call. Can you at least direct me? I promise I will do every bit of my ability to return your call or text or however, to making sure that you have some levels of protection.
Okay, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And job well done. I'm looking forward to March 10th and moving forward. So on that note, hey, thank you for listening to District Dialogue. I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. Enjoy the rest of your day, but make sure you make an appointment. March 10th, moving forward, you'll get all the details. Just follow the program. Thank you for checking in with District Dialogue. Again, I'm Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. Enjoy the rest of your day.